Hey, how are you?
Hi, good, how are you?
Good.
Good, we're happy to have you here today. I just have a couple questions for you, so let's get started.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
So Jackson, first let's just talk about some of your strengths that you feel.
Strengths, I'd say I'm extremely coachable. I'd say that I work extremely hard, and I work really well with others.
Amazing. And what about some of your weaknesses?
Weaknesses, that's a great question. I think that oftentimes like I said, I work really hard going off my strength. Oftentimes I expect others to work to the same level and expectation that I do. I hold myself to a high expectation, and I kind of expect others to as well. And so in my past experiences, I've seen that not everyone works the same way I do, and not everyone works as hard as I do. And so I've had to adapt to those different types of people, and kind of give them the benefit of the doubt and learn and understand their roles.
Thank you for that. That sounds impressive. Why do you want this job specifically?
Specifically, I want this job because I know exactly where the company's heading. I've seen that Merit is looking to go global. They're looking to sell to a new set of customers internationally. They're trying to expand their cardiovascular division. I know that you guys as a company are trying to get into new countries that speak different languages. And I think I am going to be a huge asset by being able to speak different languages, and help you guys get into those different cultures and overcome cultural differences and things like that.
And what attracted you to this company?
Honestly, there's a lot of things that attracted me. Like I said, the fact that you guys are expounding the infrastructure that you have, the business model. Also, I know Fred pretty well from back in the day, and I know what a smart, honest man he is, and the company he runs is very structured.
And what can you do for us that other candidates cannot?
I feel as though other candidates have less experience to offer. I'm going to rephrase that. I feel as though I have a lot of experience to offer, both leadership and training experience and work experience and history, as well as my cultural differences and backgrounds that I have, and the ability to speak several languages, especially with the new initiative to get cardiovascular devices into new companies. That's something that's going to help a lot.
Thank you for that. And what were the responsibilities of your last position?
So my last position, my two responsibilities were, one, to recruit and find new raw talent, and two, to train and refine that raw talent, right? Because when you find a new rep, even if they have as much talent in the world, you can't necessarily take that person and put a hat, put a shirt on them, and send them into the force. Reason why is because you want them to represent the company in a good way. So what I used to do is not only find the talent and bring it in, but then refine it, train it, and send it out so it can represent the company in a positive manner. We were extremely successful with everything we did.
Amazing. And if you had all those responsibilities of your last job, what are the reasons that you're leaving your job?
We had high up on the ladder of the corporate ladder, there were some opinions and things from our leaders that I don't think I agreed with. That being said, I worked with a lot of really awesome people, but the infrastructure of the company, there are some flaws that I felt, and I wasn't in a position to change those, although I tried. And so then I couldn't really fight it. So the only other option that I had was to remove myself, which I did.
So what if in this situation, if I were your supervisor and I did something, or I asked you to do something that you disagreed with, what would you do then?
It's a great question. I think that I would respectfully and professionally not tell you you were wrong if I didn't agree with you, but maybe propose the solution that I felt was correct. And if you said no or shut that down, try to put myself in your perspective and your shoes and see where you're coming from. And if I could see reason and rhyme behind it, and if it wasn't going to hurt the company, then I'd for sure do what I was being told to.
When were you most satisfied in your last job?
I feel like I was most satisfied when one, sales reps below me hit their goals. As a team, we hit our goals together. I'm extremely satisfied when I hit my own personal goals because I set pretty tough goals for myself. That way I push myself. I'm also extremely satisfied when our customers are satisfied with whatever products we give them or help or however we can change their lives.
And what does it mean to you to be a leader?
To be a leader, based on my experience and the past leaders that I've had, I feel as though to be a leader, you have to lead by example. You don't necessarily have to say too much. I don't agree with that, but I think that you have to be the person that does the most. That if somebody messes up, you fix it. You don't have to put them down or do anything like that, but you make sure that the job is done right, even if that means you stop what you're doing and go do it.
I agree with that. Thank you. So how would you like to improve yourself in the next year?
In the next year, I hope to be able to refine whatever skills that I have and to be able to create a balance in my life, both in everything, well, really in everything that I do. A lot of phases that I'm working on right now, and I hope to be able to refine every one of those.
Okay. So you say you have a lot of phases going on in your life right now. You're aware that this job is global, and it means that there will be a lot of travel involved.
Yeah.
Are you willing to relocate?
Yeah. Well, that's something that my wife and my family and I would have to discuss. That being said, we all understand what I do for a living and how that may affect our lives. We all understand that this is kind of our means of living, and they respect and support what I do, and my wife understands that, and I think that that's something that we would be able to do.
And what salary are you seeking for this position?
Currently, I'm seeking $150,000 minimum.
Thank you. So if you were selected for this position, can you describe your strategy for the first 90 days?
Strategy for the first 90 days would be to get involved and get to know the team. The motive behind that would be to earn respect and trust from those that I work with, both above and below me. That way I'm trusted by those that work for me, trusted by those that work above me and respected by those that work below me before I go in and make any hasty changes or decisions.
Jackson, what was the last project that you led and what was the outcome?
My partner and I at our last job had the goal to recruit 30 plus sales reps that were going to average between 200 and 300 accounts. And we were able to do so in 5 months, which is pretty remarkable, considering the fact that my partner was also gone for the first 3 months and I was doing that by myself. So it was really, really a learning experience, and I spent a lot of time and a lot of hours, a lot of overtime and things making sure that I got the job done.
Sounds like quite the accomplishment.
Thank you.
What is the most difficult decision you've had to make in the last 2 years, and how did you come to that decision?
The most difficult decision I had to make was to leave my previous company, and I made that decision talking a lot to my wife and my family and making sure it was something that was going to work for us, as well as looking at a big picture, the next 5 to 10 years and how it was going to affect kind of myself and my family and our means of living and our lifestyle.
And what kind of goals would you have in mind if you were to get this job?
I think my goals would be to get in and, like I said, gain trust and respect quickly. That way I can do what's needed to be done to create success and growth as quickly as possible.
Who is your favorite manager and why?
Excuse me. Favorite manager that I had was one that worked harder than anybody at the company. He was diligent, he was quick to resolve issues, and he always had a smile on his face. He was never upset. That showed every one of us that even management works really hard. If that's expected from them, it's expected from us. and that you can be extremely happy in your work environment and still be successful.
What are 3 positive things your last boss would say about you?
I think that they would say that I am really hard worker, that I'm consistent, and that I make those around me feel involved and comfortable.
And just to conclude this, Jackson, why should we hire you?
I feel like you should hire me because I have an incredible amount of talent and skills and assets and things that could be incredibly beneficial to the company. I know where you guys are heading and where you're trying to go, and I completely agree and align with those desires. And I think that I could be a huge, huge benefit and help in getting to and reaching the goals that the company already has.
Thank you. It's been nice getting to know you, and I appreciate you sitting down with me and answering some of these questions.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. I really do look forward to hearing from you and the company or whoever it may be. Send Fred and Nelson my regards. I really, really respect and would love to work with and for them. I've attached references to my resume, and so if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to them. They're expecting you guys to reach out, okay? Again, I appreciate the opportunity.
We'll be in contact.
Okay. See you later.